South Africans must brace for hot temperatures throughout this week. This as the third heat wave of the season with persistent high temperatures is set to prevail across 7 provinces for most of the week. The South African Weather Service has issued a heat wave alert urging residents to prioritise their safety. We have roped in a weather expert Annette Botha from Vox Weather for better understanding of the hot temperatures and weather warnings issued in the coming days. Thank you so much, Annette, for your time, and good afternoon to you. So, I mean, many a times people argue that because it's December, it's the start of our summer, heat waves are inevitable. But given that these can lead to fatalities, these warnings then become very essential. Just talk to us about what are we likely to see in the coming days in terms of the heat wave, and more importantly, the duration, and which regions will experience the most intense heat.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, you're right, Unati. I think it's very important to listen to these types of advisories that are issued by the South African Weather Service. And we are expecting heatwave conditions over northwest Gauteng, Mpumalanga, Limpopo, the Free State and KwaZulu-Natal, lasting up until, I would say, at least Friday. But the temperatures might dip a little bit below the threshold, heatwave threshold, the next few days into the weekend, and then yet again rise up. So we are expecting above average temperatures for at least the next 2 weeks over the eastern areas of South Africa. Now, these temperatures are extremely dangerous. It's not just like a normal summer day, because for a heatwave threshold or a heatwave to be declared by the South African Weather Service, the temperature needs to be 5 degrees above the average temperature for the hottest month for at least 3 days. So this is extremely high temperatures, and this can definitely lead to hydration, and also this is dangerous for anyone that's outside, especially during the hottest time of the year. So please just rather take precautionary measurements.
What are the highest temperatures that we likely to see? I mean, and which provinces are you looking at that for you are ringing those alarm bells?
So eastern South Africa is definitely the area that's going to see the highest temperatures, and especially the low veld of Limpopo and Mpumalanga in those regions. And this includes the Kruger National Park. Temperatures will rise above 40 degrees and in some regions to the mid 40s. So this is extremely high temperatures, and please always stay hydrated in these temperatures. As I've mentioned, try and avoid direct sunlight, so wear sun protection, try and stay cool. And I always say, please take care of the vulnerable. Do not leave anyone under 10 in a car. This includes pets or small children. These types of temperatures can definitely lead to dehydration.
And I think you've answered that question in terms of how should we, better prepare ourselves, particularly when it comes to the vulnerable groups like the elderly and children. Just in terms of, the climate change that we are seeing, are these heat waves part of this larger trend related to climate change? I mean, just in terms of their frequency, their intensity too, that we are seeing and experiencing.
That's true. We have seen more intense heat waves the past few years, and the World Meteorological Organization has just reported that the global temperature from January to September 2024 was about 1.5 degrees above the pre-industrial levels. So this puts 2024 as the hottest year on record, and this is breaking the record of just the year before, 2023. So we are seeing our different weather patterns are changing, more extreme weather events across South Africa. This includes heat waves, this includes heavy rainfall and extreme storms. We've seen record-breaking rainfall in the Western Cape this year and last year. So because of the rise in the global temperature, this means there's more energy in the air, and it leads to more severe storms, but yet again, also prolonged heat waves and high temperatures in the oceans, which can lead to more extreme tropical cyclones as we go into the cyclone season.
And I mean, just another, from a concern perspective, just the reality that we are experiencing also in terms of water challenges, it does then become very tricky then for people to be able to stay hydrated during this time. What do you then need to do, especially when you're experiencing some form of an emergency?
I think it is important to always try and stay out of direct sunlight, especially during the hottest time of the year. But I know this is not possible for everyone, especially pupils that need to walk to school or people that work in the sun. But I think that's where organizations and businesses need to take a little bit of responsibility. And if a threshold is met for a certain temperature, they should actually let their workers rest it out in the shade, because this is dangerous and you can die from dehydration. So yeah, just always, if you can, try and avoid direct sunlight, but if you are unable, please wear a hat or something light so that you can at least cool down your body.
I know you work with various stakeholders as you forecast these patterns, these weather changes, etc. Do you think that our country, given just how the weather patterns have been changing drastically over the years, is now better equipped to deal and to handle just some of the forecasting that you've been able to do?
Yes, I would say the South African Weather Service definitely does a very good job at making sure that everyone is informed when it comes to these type of severe events, especially heat waves, and they also inform the disaster risk management, and everyone knows this is about to play out. So even us here at Vox Weather, we always issue alerts when there's heat waves or extreme weather expected across South Africa, and we've seen that these types of forecasts are becoming more accurate, but we need to keep in mind that it's a forecast, not a promise, and the weather will always be a little bit unpredictable in some way, but we are using the best that we have to our ability and using our resources and our knowledge to be able to warn South Africans about what is to come when it comes to severe weather across South Africa.
And better prepared than not. But thank you so much, Annette, for your time. Really do appreciate it. Annette Botha there is a weather expert for us from Vox Weather, just giving us then that important information around the hot temperatures that we are experiencing in the country at the moment.